This new $69 mechanical keyboard is one of the best budget keyboards you can buy. And you don't even need to mod it because out of the box, it sounds like it's already worth 3 times than what you actually paid for. I've only been on this mechanical keyboard hobby for more than a year or so, and like some of my other hobbies such as collecting vinyl records or vintage cameras, it's not exactly a hobby that's easy in the pocket. Some of the more premium builds can run you a few $100s, and if you go the custom build route, it'll be even more. Of course, there's a whole heap of cheap mechanical keyboards you can find on Amazon or AliExpress, but more often enough, you really get what you pay for. Cheap plastic construction, clean key sounds, and minimal features. Rare is it where you can actually find a keyboard that falls in the budget bracket, but feels, sounds, and performs like a legit premium product. The new Epomaker Aula F75 is one such rare keyboard that is definitely worth every dollar you throw at it, and some. Now let's get to the unboxing. When I first received the package on my doorstep and picked it up, I was instantly surprised by the weight of it. It had some heft and definitely got me more curious to unbox it, to see what kind of keyboard this was. Lo and behold, I wasn't disappointed. Although the casing is made of plastic, it is a very tough, strong, and smooth plastic material that didn't give any signs of cheap or tackiness. The way the keyboard is put together seems very strong and sturdy, to the point that I had great difficulty trying to open up the keyboard. I just gave up because I was scared I was going to damage it if I applied more force. Nothing is loose, nothing rattles, and it definitely doesn't sound hollow, like a lot of the other cheap plastic mech keyboards. Even the 2-level kickstand legs snap out very confidently and sturdy with the rubber non-slip pads attached firmly. The whole keyboard exudes quality and purposeful design. The Aula F75 comes in a choice of 4 different colorways, and they all look splendid. The colorway I received was the light blue on white casing, which is probably the most vanilla of the bunch, but its subtle aesthetics might suit those who don't want a keyboard that screams attention on your desk. The stock keycaps are indeed high quality double shot PBT, though not the thickest. I really like the printing on them, which use a slightly rounded font, giving it that extra design flair. Lastly, the RGB lighting is luminously fantastic, super vibrant with nice animation effects. It's a whole lot brighter than my Keychron RGB backlighting, that's for sure. I believe it's the light diffusion design on these Leobug Reaper switches that just makes the colors pop and glow more. Very, very nice. I believe what makes this keyboard seem so packed is the multiple layers of foam dampening. 5 layers to be precise. The silicon bottom foam, 2 layers of PCB foam for the front and back, as well as a PET sheet and a pour-on switch pad, all of which work in conjunction to produce the amazing typing sound experience. There really isn't much to add to this in terms of modding. In comparison, my Keychron V1 only has 1 layer of silicon dampening foam. 5 layers just goes to show how much value is packed into this affordable yet thoughtful keyboard. Interestingly, Epomaker and Aula boast that this keyboard is a leaf spring gasket mounting system. But as seen in their own video teardown, the keyboard is just a regular gasket mount with silicon tabs around the PCB. Nevertheless, the gasket performance is still very excellent. For those who don't know what a gasket mount system does, is it gives the board a slightly more cushioned feel since the plate isn't in direct contact with the other metal components of the keyboard. In short, it gives the keyboard a dampened sound and feel, and is usually a feature more common in premium or expensive keyboards. In a weird way, it makes your keyboard more flexy and bouncy, where flexibility is a desirable quality. For a lot of people, probably the best thing about this keyboard is its recommended retail price. For its fairly affordable price, you are getting a lot of value here, with features packed in which you would normally find in more premium or expensive keyboards. This is a keyboard that punches above its weight class. Just from a quick glance on Amazon for similar spec and priced 75% keyboards, there are a few from Epomaker, such as the EP75 or the TH80 Pro, which are wireless and hot swappable, but not gasket mounted. The Skylong GK75 Lite comes in cheaper and does have a gasket-like mount system and a rotary knob, but isn't wireless or RGB illuminated. The Red Dragon K673 Pro is probably its closest competitor, which is wireless, gasket mounted, RGB hot swappable, as well as sound absorbing pads, but not as much as the 5-layer dampening that the Aula F75 has. The last comparable keyboard that I've already mentioned is a Keychron V1, which comes at double the price from a more reputable brand. But even now, I find myself using and enjoying the Aula F75 more than my Keychron. To be honest, there's not much to fault with this keyboard. And if you do find something to complain, you have to remember you're getting a lot more than you're paying for. If I really have to nitpick, then some of the few cons with this keyboard include being difficult to near impossible to pry open and do your own mods. But as I mentioned earlier, this keyboard is so good out of the box, you might not need to mod the keyboard at all. Also, a quirk that I get from this keyboard every now and then is a single key press being repeated without me realizing it. Sometimes, just by resting my finger ever so lightly on a keycap, it would register a keystroke. And not only that, but repeat it as if I was intentionally holding it down. I guess the Leobug Reaper switches have that extra keystroke sensitivity that is characteristic of linear switches like the Cherry MX Reds. As for the repeated key presses, after doing a bit of research, I found the culprit to be a thing called contact bounce. There might not be much I can do about the keystroke sensitivity, other than changing the switches altogether, but thankfully the contact bounce problem can be remedied with Aula's supported keyboard software and playing around with the debounce settings. This value pack keyboard has no business being this good, especially at this price point. It really is the details and small touches that makes this keyboard a cut above the rest. Whether it's the nicely rounded keycap fonts, or the offside caps lock indicator, or the larger aluminum alloy multifunction knob, or the included plastic dust cover, these little things could have easily been the corners cut to justify the actual selling price of the keyboard. But instead, it's a keyboard that just keeps on giving. Hey, if you found value in this video, please do help support the algorithm by hitting the like button or subscribe to my channel to see more awesome content like this.